Oh, where's Leesburg? I've heard of Leesburg.
It's in Loudoun County, and it's if you go out Route 7 in Northern Virginia, you're going like to Warrenton, Virginia. There's Leesburg, Virginia, and it's a very historic area. I graduated. It's in Loudoun County.
Okay.
That's where Dulles Airport is.
Yep. Okay.
And so it's about 40 minutes from Dulles Airport. So it's in that area.
Nice.
Northern Virginia.
Okay.
About an hour from D.C.
So, when you were performing in front of a person or an audience, did you ever get nervous?
Well, I was blessed that way. I'm not much of a nervous person by and large. Growing up with 5 sisters and 3 brothers, we just learned to be gregarious in terms of our socialization. So I'm comfortable around people, and so when I was performing, if I was singing solo in front of a crowd, like at a wedding, I sang at a lot of weddings.
Okay.
Back when I had my voice, and there would be a little bit nervousness in terms of making sure that I hit the proper notes.
Okay.
But when it comes to vocalization, when it comes to music, confidence is everything.
Yes.
So what you want to do is you want to project a certain level of confidence to your audience. And so I learned that very early on, that I was well received. So it gave me confidence to excel at what I did.
And to be able to engage with the audience and stuff like that.
Without any inhibition.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's yeah. I noticed that when I go see local bands and stuff, they are like a little reluctant to doing that because they're vibing off of the crowd. So
Always.
like if you're like dead silent and then you're like, yeah, is it music lovers in the house? And everybody's like, yeah.
And I've said that to more people than I can possibly remember. But I've said this all the time: is that if you reciprocate the energy and the feedback to the band, they actually, as a musician, you actually perform better. So you'll actually feed from the energy from your audience as a musician. So as they're responsive to your energy and to your commitment to the music and the quality of music that you're performing, you actually feed off of that and you perform better without question. And that's regardless of whether you're a drummer, a keyboard player, a violinist. If the audience is responsible, you're going to do better.
Interesting. Okay.
And I've seen this numerous times throughout thousands of concerts I've been to. You see the reciprocation from the audience to the players, the musicians, and you see the enhancement.
Right. Okay. Nice. What would you say your biggest challenge was pursuing a career in the music industry, whether it was performing yourself or managing the bands? Like, what was the biggest challenge or challenges?
Yeah, the most difficult thing when it comes to musicians is they're very
opinionated.
They're very difficult sometimes in terms of their idiosyncrasies.
Okay.
And they're very idiosyncratic, where they're quirky. And like a guitar player will often feel like he's the best guitar player in the whole world, although he's not, and he knows he's not, but he wants to pretend he is.
Right.
and that's pretentious. But so you have to deal with a lot of personalities and egos, and so what you're trying to do is you're trying to just, as a manager of my own bands, what I was trying to do is I try to consolidate those to the best of my ability. We're like, okay, if we're going to write a song, we need to work in collaboration. So let's collaborate. And let's put all of our egos aside and let's just collaborate.
Right.
So it's all about collaboration, but that's not always the easiest thing to do. It's much easier said than done.
So how do you get through those barriers? Like, how do you...
Communication.
Get everybody... Okay.
Communicate. You sometimes, as a manager, sometimes you have to put your foot down. You have to say, look, we're not doing it this way, we're doing it this way.
Right.
We're going to stay more in terms of the consistency of the continuity of the way the song was written without so much variation. Because there's a lot of individualism in terms of music.
Right.
So a lot of people want to deviate from the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. But it has to be done in moderation. It can't be done to the extreme. So you just basically give a little, take a little.
Right.
You know,
right.
you compromise when you have to, but at the same time, you have to be consistent. And because when people hear a song like, let's say, I'm just arbitrarily talking, let's say Stairway to Heaven.
Okay.
Okay, that's a very, you know, recognizable song, Stairway to Heaven, by Led Zeppelin. You can't deviate from the basic melody of that song. You
right, right.
You have to stay on tune.
Right.
And not everybody does.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like all over the map.
So you being the manager of the band and managing the band and all, and you said communication, obviously, not deviating too much from the plan, and then also giving a little, taking a little. But then also one of the main things you just said was you have to be able to delegate.
Yeah.
Like, all right, guys, you got to, because I feel like when you're one of those types of managers that your style is a little more lax and you let people run over top of you, that creates issues as well because you got too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Well, you know, and I used to teach management courses. You know, and in my management courses, you know, I had almost 700 employees, and I used to teach my managers that, you know, management is all about the TASTE model. Okay, it's truth, accountability, support, trust, and empowerment. TASTE. Truth, accountability, support, trust, and empowerment.
Hold on.